I just got to my parents' house. I think you should be able to make it to the funeral on time. So just don't wonder about what I'm doing and make sure to be with the rest of the family there. I made sure to bring along your funeral clothing as well.
Thank you, Bruce. Once I've made sure to finish telling everyone in the office, I'll be on my way there. Had my business trip have been closer to you guys, I could be there in an instant, but this time...
You had to go somewhere completely different this time, which is pretty unlucky. And to think that my little brother would get into a wreck.
Is Holly going to be alright? She still has that very young child to deal with, but now she's going to have to take care of them all on her own. I'm sure she's a wreck herself right now, right?
And about that, I feel really bad about her having to be all by herself.
Of course, because she was just made a single mother in an instant. So she's even worse off than just being a poor thing right now. Honestly, she's in the worst place imaginable for someone in her shoes at that age. I think we need to make sure that we're there for her to support her and her kid.
Thank goodness you're thinking the same thing as me then.
Well, of course that's what I'd be thinking. She may be my brother-in-law's wife, but she's also happens to be like a sister to me, and one that I love very much.
Due to the situation that we're all in now, I want to do everything I can to support her like her husband would have.
Hold on a second. Are you thinking of really taking his place by earning money for them now as well as such?
Since he's no longer there for them, I need to be the one to take his place, right?
I'm sorry, but you mean that you'll just be helping out from our house, right?
Unlike you or I, Holly has 2 kids that she's having to take care of now. I'm going to need a papa, right?
Well, the both of them are still pretty young.
For only Holly to be the one at home with them and all the time taking care of them, that would be like hell, right?
I'm aware of that.
So I was thinking that in place of my brother, I'd step in to take care of those 3 like he would.
And when you say that, you mean... You mean just a supportive brother-in-law, right?
That's right. I have to be there to support them financially.
That makes more sense. Your brother was living with your parents along with his family before he passed, and was the one paying all the bills, right? Now that he's gone, he's kind of left your mom without anyone as well now.
And, well, after having just passed away in that accident, there's going to be things like the cost of the wreck, the car insurance costs, his health insurance costs, the cost of the funeral, and so much more, right?
That's true.
I just heard that his wife will be getting $200,000 from his life insurance. And as for that other driver, a lawyer will be with her to help her out a bit. But considering that he was 100% at fault for that wreck, there's going to be a ton of money coming from him very soon.
Did Holly tell you all about that?
No, this is what I heard from my mom.
So she hasn't talked with you at all about all of those things yet, right?
No, she is not. And?
She is most likely going to be struggling from the shock of what's happened for a while now, so please do everything you can to manage the financial matters.
I'm doing my best. Since she's not able to think about anything besides her dead husband and kids right now, I'm going to be managing it all for her for the time being.
Okay, but just make sure that as the older brother, you take good care of them. However, don't get in the way of their more personal matters, please. I would like for us to only be helping her out with the things she needs help with, like the financial stuff and maybe her kids. But make sure not to go overboard with anything, please.
I'm telling you that I'll do my best. Now I have to get things ready for the funeral and everything. When you know the time that you'll be arriving at the funeral home, let me know.
Will do. Holly, I'm so sorry for leaving so early, but if there's anything else you need from me, please let me know. I'm sure that things will only get more stressful for you, and with you having the kids around still, I want to make sure that you don't overwork yourself. Reina, thank you so much for saying that. I have really been freaking out about how I'm going to handle everything on my own now, and it's been a really rough week so far. Having you there at the funeral really made me feel a little bit of hope. And as for my husband, who went out there saying he would be helping you out, didn't do a damn thing. So, I'm really sorry about that. Also, him saying he wouldn't come home with me and would be staying there with you all. Bruce seems to still be very worried about myself and the kids, and that's why he's wanting to stick around. Well, if he ever starts to become a problem for you, let me know and I'll come get him. I want you to complain about anything he does that pisses you off, alright? I'm not really sure if I should be saying something like this to you, of all people right now. What's happened? If you're really worried about something, please tell me. Because of my work, him and I were never able to go back there to live really close to you at all. And that's left just you and your husband having to take care of their parents in the house. So if there's anything you need my help with, please let me know right away. No, wait. You have always taken great care of us, even if you always can't be here at the family house. Things like making those meals and everything for us to warm up and eat. And in the past, you've let us borrow plenty of money from you. And when it's come to my kids' presents, you've really gone all out. But that's all I could manage in the past. So is there something you need from me right now? Actually, I'm being talked to about getting remarried already. Getting remarried already? Is it our mother-in-law talking to you about that? Both Bruce and her, actually. Huh? Bruce too? They told me that I have 2 kids to take care of now, and that we'd need a husband and a father. And, well, they followed up by saying some random man being part of the family wouldn't be good for the kids. So they both told me that Bruce should become my new husband. What? Not about my husband supporting you guys in his brother's place? How can I say this? From the way things sounded, they want me to marry Bruce now. Huh? What the hell? So you've known about none of this then, right? No freaking way! They're both going to talk with you about something like that when your husband only passed away. I am so sorry. Wait. Are they going to talk with me about this next once I get home? Just a second ago, they came back here with marriage paperwork. No freaking way. I had no idea what to do when they did. And since my husband's gone now, if I were to marry someone like your husband, they would kick the kids and I out of this house, right? But they happen to be my late husband's kids as well, so they would take them and kick me out of the house, right? Knowing that woman, I'm sure she'd be saying scary things like that. Just for my own sake, I want to confirm this with you. How are you feeling about all of this? I am so very sorry, but I really can't be asked to be around your husband right now. I've always really hated him, and now I feel you. And now I have a better idea of the situation at hand. The reason I had been always asking you to come here and help me and never your husband was because of how much I really dislike him. But I was never sure you picked up on how I felt about him. However, it seems you really do understand what I mean by not liking him. So this means you don't want to get remarried to my husband at all then, right? You are still his wife, for crying out loud. So the fact that they were talking about that with me, I really wonder what has gotten into those people then do something like that to you. Bruce handed me the marriage papers, even though you guys aren't divorced yet, and told me to start filling my parts out. He told me that he'd be divorcing you really soon though, so it was okay for me to do. So he really does plan to leave me. I want to ask you something else now. What would you like to do next? I don't think I can live here with our mother-in-law anymore. Now that my husband is gone, I was thinking of leaving this house with my babies and living somewhere, just the 3 of us in peace. Understood. Allow me to take some of this into my own hands. Thank you so very much, Reina. I'm almost home now, so I'll talk to you once again I'm settled down. I have something to ask you about, Bruce.
What's that?
I heard that you were talking with Holly about getting remarried. What are you planning on doing?
You've already heard about all that. You already know what I'm planning to do since I've told you about that before, right? I'm going to be taking my brother's place.
So that's really what you were talking about then. Alright. Although I'm not going to say that I agree with what you're doing. You're literally causing issues for a woman struggling with the loss of her husband right now.
Causing issues? I told her that I want this marriage for her sake. She happens to be in love with me. So being able to remarry a man like me must make her very happy.
You think that Holly is in love with you right now? Are you drunk?
You really are such a dull idiot, aren't you? Have you not been able to tell what's been going on based off of the way she reacts to me? When I was back at my parents' house again with her, she would always look over at me, and she'd leave distance between us on purpose because she was embarrassed by seeing me again. It feels like she's gone back in time and is having her first crush on me like a kid.
I want to congratulate you for taking things so far off the rails like that. The real reason why she made it so much distance between you and her is because she doesn't like you.
I just told you you're being really dull about all of this right now.
I'm telling you that she doesn't want you around, and that you forcing her to talk about marrying you is really troubling her.
Those kids are going to need a father, and she's going to need a reason to be allowed to live in my parents' house. She's also going to need someone to take care of the money for her. Look at that, I'm needed by her, right?
What are you going about now?
I think she'd be better off having someone like me as her husband than someone she barely even knows. I happen to be her late husband's older brother, so we share the same blood and everything. And considering I'm the older brother in this family, if she gets married to me, she'll be allowed to continue living in this house. And if all of that wasn't enough to seal the deal, she's going to need someone who can take care of all that money she'll be getting from things like the life insurance and from that man that killed my brother.
I don't want to even think about this being the case, but are you only wanting to get married to her for the money that your brother is leaving behind?
Let me just say, this is something that my mom is also wanting me to do.
You didn't answer my question.
She's always been upset about the fact that her older son hasn't had any kids yet, and that's left her worried about us as a married couple.
Answer what I asked. And if you've been wanting to have kids like your mother's been wanting, then why did you never ask about it?
Well, Holly already happens to have 2 kids now, and since you aren't even pregnant yet, she's the obvious choice, right? My mom is also happy about having her older son back home, and I'm happy about having some more money at my disposal. So you and I are getting divorced, and I'm getting married to Holly next. And then after that, I can have even more kids with her, with all the money we'll be getting.
So, that really was your reason for wanting to marry her. You're just in it for the money she'll be getting, and not for what you were telling me before. The role of supporting and caring for her. So then, that means this divorce paperwork that's been left on the table for me, all filled out, is the real deal?
I've already signed my parts and everything, right? Once you've divorced me and let me free, I'll be able to get myself a lot of money. I need to marry my brother's wife now, so divorce me, please. I don't need you in my life anymore.
I'm taking it to the courthouse right now.
See ya, you old bitch. Although I think you being thrown out at your age means there's no hope for you anymore. By the way, that house is no longer ours. So get all your things together and get out of there by the end of this month. I'm moving back into my parents' house now, so you can go ahead and have all the savings we had together because I'll be getting close to 20 times that amount after marrying Holly. I'm going to be getting some really big money. Ha!
Are you sure?
But don't expect anything else out of me. At your age, you'd better appreciate that as my farewell gift to you, okay?
Don't worry, allow me to take all of that money and get out of your sight for good, okay? I can put it all to good use for something like a honeymoon trip, you know? Like how a wedding is celebrated with the honeymoon after. I'll celebrate this divorce with the same kind of thing, overseas even. I'm not going to have a massive event or anything for it, but I will at least celebrate it like the kind of happy occasion that it is.
Celebrate the divorce?
Due to the fact that I'll finally be able to cut ties to both of you and your mother, who has relied on me so much. I'd like to use some of the money to take myself on a trip overseas or something close to that to celebrate.
Well, you seem to be more happy about this than I am.
I promise to get all of these papers in today, and I'll be out of this house in no time. Considering we had to go through a death in the family in that funeral, it may take me a bit of time, so please give me a month like you said. And before I'm gone, I'd like to take this trip. How about a 3-day trip to Florida so we can enjoy the beach?
Understood. I'll go tell my mom about this.
When I've found what resort we can all celebrate at, I'll give you another text. Thanks for everything, and goodbye forever.
Do you have any idea where Holly and the kids went? My mom and I just got home from the trip and we can't seem to find them or their things anywhere.
Holly and her kids went back to her parents' house.
What? They went back to her parents' place?
While you guys stayed in Florida for longer than the rest of us, we came back here and I started to help them move out of your parents' home.
Hold on a second. Why would you do something like that? What about the marriage papers? What about her and I getting married?
That was never going to happen to begin with, you butthead. All of that was just inside your mom's and your head the whole time.
Don't tell me that the trip you planned for all of us to go on to celebrate this divorce was all meant to get us out of the house so that they could leave?
Thank God you guys chose to stay that long. I was worried about you wanting to either come home with us or not go on that trip at all. But instead, you all stayed longer, while the four of us were able to get back here and grab all of Holly's things. Now I can finally forget about you. Like, seriously, your brother just passed away and you were already going on about marrying his wife and taking all their money? As well as divorcing me and kicking me out of the house?
But you said that the trip was to celebrate the divorce and everything, hence why we all went with you.
If you really cared about taking care of Holly and her kids after getting married, you would have been focused on that instead of coming with me to celebrate, right? But you really are only focused on the money, so you'd never think about the family of a recently deceased father and husband, right?
Are you kidding me?
Do you even know where her kids are going to preschool right now? Do you even know about their everyday routine and such? About what they both like and what they both dislike? Do you know about any of those things? If you really wanted to marry her and take care of those three, then you would have been asking about all of those things day one, especially as a man who has never taken care of kids before yet.
I planned on learning all those things later on.
You really think you can be acting so laid back right now when Holly and her kids need the support right now?
It's the wife's job to take care of the kids in the first place, right?
God damn, thank God I never had any kids with you then. I don't want to have a family with such a careless man as you.
What the hell do you think you're doing? Letting Holly and her kids go back to her parents' place like that. We haven't even gone and handed in our marriage papers yet. Right now she's ignoring all my texts and calls.
I told her to block you.
You told her to block me?
She never had any plans of getting married to a monster like you, Bruce. And she's working on cutting ties to all of your family right now as her husband is no longer around. That means that you and all of her family are strangers to her now.
What are you talking about?
She is working on ending all ties to you guys, now that her husband has passed away.
She's really going to leave us like that? Hey, what about that money? What about the money that she'll be getting from my brother?
Holly and both of her kids will be receiving that money.
Hold on a sec. That's not good for me, though. I've already planned our trips to Hawaii to stay at 5-star resorts while flying first class, and pre-ordered 2 new supercars thinking that I'd be getting all that money.
Jesus Christ. So you were going to take a grieving woman and her kids to Hawaii with you after all that's happened to her?
Not at all! I planned on bringing my girlfriend. Her and I have been planning this trip to Hawaii out for half a year now. I was expecting this money to come to me eventually, and that's why we planned out a really expensive trip to there, as well as bought all kinds of really expensive things with our credit cards. I've already promised her that all of this is going to happen, so there's no going back now. I've been going out to see her for 2 years now, and 6 months ago I was finally able to land her with the promise of all these things.
Your girlfriend, who you've been seeing for 2 years now?
Hold on a second. Forget all that.
So you've been cheating on me.
What are you talking about?
You were talking about how you plan on marrying your dead brother's wife so you could get all of that money. But your real reasoning behind all of this was because you have another woman you've been cheating on me and you need to buy her love? So this has all been for your girlfriend. Alrighty then. I'm finally starting to understand all of it now. You told me for so long that we never had enough money to ever have kids or anything, and that you didn't want any. Which is strange because I had been working a ton and had so much money saved up for us. But I get it now.
No, wait, you're wrong about that.
Since I fixed the problem Holly was having with you, it's now my turn to fix this mess. Now that you've confessed to cheating on me, I'm going to do everything I can to squeeze every last penny out of you.
Hold on, Reina. I thought that I'd be getting more money. I've already used up what money I've had. Also, you and I are divorced already, so how will you be able to get that settlement from me?
Just because we're divorced now doesn't mean I can't still get a settlement for the damages you caused.
Okay, I get it. I have an idea for how to fix all of our problems here. All we have to do is get back together.
Are you that screwed in the head or something? Because what you just said makes no sense at all.
I only left you thinking that I'd be getting married to Holly, but since that's not happening now, I'll get back together with you. So let's get married again. And you'll be able to live with me at my family's house. I'll be able to get my mom to do all the chores and cooking for us even. You'll finally be able to focus all your attention on work, right?
My workplace happens to be close to 3 hours away from your parents' home. Did you forget about why we never moved back in with your parents in the past?
We can make something happen there. Anyhow, let's just get back together. Then we can put a lot more thought into everything.
After all the crap you pulled here, you think that we can just get back together like nothing ever happened? How about you marry that woman you've been cheating on me with?
That's still impossible, actually. Her and I aren't really that close to one another yet. Unless I can prove to her that I can get her everything she wants, she probably won't marry me.
So you're wanting to get back together with me so that you can continue to buy her more things. Alright, that's a fat no from me.
Don't say things like that. I don't have any more money.
You said this is all about Holly and that you've said this about me. Besides money, what else do you see women as? Once I've had a talk with my lawyer about you, I'll send you the official documents stating how much you owe. If you have any problems with the amount I'll be asking for, please, by all means, go and complain to my lawyer about it. We are divorced now, and I don't have it in me to deal with a filthy trash like you.
Please, Reina, please help me out here. Please get back together with me. Reina? If you don't help me, then my girlfriend's going to abandon me.
After that, I was able to get a massive settlement from Bruce and things ended just the way I wanted them to. In his fear of losing the girlfriend he worked so hard to get without having the money to, Bruce still kept his promise to her and take her to Hawaii and went into some insane debt doing such. Even now, he is still continuing to make his debt worse and worse, also that he can stay with her. And recently, he's been getting into arguments with his own mother about whether they should sell the house or not so that he can pay off some of that debt.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.